All right, here's Jerod Mayo introduced yesterday. And look, I just have to say this first and foremost, and you'll see this as the clip plays, as Jerod Mayo talks about his approach to coaching. Somebody in New England gets it. Somebody realizes we don't have to wear what we would wear to a wedding or a funeral to an introductory press conference. No tie, no suit, no dress shirt.
Yeah.
I love it.
Just
Here's
look
Jerod
presentable.
Mayo talking about his approach to coaching.
Right.
Here it is.
I learned a lot at Optum about diversity, right? About diversity and inclusion. And you better believe it, being the first black coach here in New England means a lot to me. But those guys taught me you have to take ideas from other people, black, white, green, yellow, it really doesn't matter. Old, young. One thing you'll notice about me in our interaction as we continue to go is I don't like echo chambers. I want people around me that are going to question my ideas or question the way we have done things in the past. Because realistically, this game's a lot different than when I was drafted in 2008. When I talk about leadership, most people think it's like a chessboard and a guy moving pieces on the board. I really don't believe that to be correct as far as developing leaders. I think of it more as gardening, right? Gardeners really don't grow anything. They just make sure the soil is right. They grab the weeds out there. They water it every day, and whatever grows, grows. And that's how I approach leadership. I don't want to be, and we talked about it before, but collaboration is huge. I want to just water seeds. And right now we're in the evaluation process where we are planting seeds, right? We are planting seeds, and hopefully that will lead to the next dynasty here with the Kraft family.
You know, look, it's the first gardening metaphor from an NFL head coach since Nick Sirianni.
It's amazing.
In far less artful fashion. And you know what? Once Sirianni did that kind of clunky gardening metaphor, they kind of turned things around in Philly. So maybe he needs to break out the gardening stuff again.
Right.
I like the attitude. I like the sense, and he's smart enough to know that why it went sideways with Bill Belichick is he accumulated too much power. He was fully in charge of everything. He had no one to provide the checks and balances that Robert Kraft referred to last Thursday in the press conference announcing the departure of Bill Belichick. You've got to be willing to listen to and welcome dissenting views, because through that act of having someone tell you, I disagree with what you're proposing, you either develop more confidence in what you're going to do, or you change your mind and you realize, you know what, maybe there is a better way to do this. All we're trying to do is do it the best way possible and win games. If there's a better way than what I'm thinking of, tell me about it. I'll consider it. And if I believe in it, I won't allow my ego to say, we have to do it my way because it's my way, and I don't want to do it anyone else's way. I don't want to take anyone else's idea. I don't want to let anyone else be potentially responsible for this. It has to be me. I alone can fix it. Where have we heard that before? We don't need that at a football team. We need somebody who is willing to take all suggestions for properly fixing it and who can think, that's a good idea. It's different than my idea, but I'll use it.
Yeah. No, that I think is always a positive thing in an organization with coaches. I do, right? I love what Jerod Mayo said. You know, it was funny with the whole, I was thinking the same thing, with the seeds and the flower planting and all that. It was making me chuckle. But I think if he's able to hit the sweet spot, right, it's find the same X's and O's approach that Bill Belichick has, and then, have your own energy or aura about you that's different in that building that can kind of maybe revitalize the team and give a new message and make things seem fresh. That, to me, would be kind of the balance you're trying to find. I know, people think Bill Belichick was a guy that was like, oh, no, it's my way or this way or that way. Absolutely not. Bill Belichick was always, first off, he had a lot of coordinators and assistant coaches throughout the years come from different places, and he would lean on them or steal ideas. Ooh, you used to do this way. I'm going to infuse that into my game plan. I think one of the reasons he always loved Josh McDaniels is Josh McDaniels would be like, hey, Bill, I was thinking about this. Did you ever think about this on the offensive side of the ball? And they'd have constructive conversations that way. And, of course, I think some of the coaches he grew up and was around, whether it was Charlie Weiss, Romeo Crennel, whatever, they were able to throw out things and say, hey, Bill, I think we should do it this way. And he'd think about it. And if it made sense, he'd be all for that. So Bill wasn't exactly, this it's my way or whatever. Now, he maybe got a little more like that as he got older. But I think that's great to hear from Jerod Mayo, because I do think that's what the great coaches in football do. They realize it goes back to our Mike McCarthy conversation. Wait, you're still doing the things you were doing 15 years ago with Aaron Rodgers? It's the same plays? What? That's not going to work. We can't do that. Right? And the really good coaches are always stealing ideas, trying to figure out, hey, challenge me on this thought. Is there a better way to do it? And those are the ones that are usually the most successful. So I think Jerod Mayo has the magic touch when it comes to all of that. Now it's just about being able to put it all together and prove it to us and the New England fan base that he can do it.
I think with Belichick, the stubbornness came into play as it related to personnel, not as much coaching.
I hear you there. Yeah.
And
yeah.
different ways of doing things that, he had for whatever reason, however he came to those conclusions. That was where, as he got that personnel power, it became no one there to provide the checks and balances. From the coaching standpoint, this guy's just trying to crack a code. And he'll take any and all input he can when he's trying to crack the code.
Right.
And is there a better way to approach this opposing team that I may not be seeing? Oh, yeah, I can see that. Now that you mention it, all right, let me run that through my own brain. You're absolutely right.
No
we
doubt.
can do this. This can work. So I think that's the maybe subtle difference between coaching and personnel. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.